Hello friends, welcome back to Ouroboros Tarot. So today we are going to be looking into no contact situations. We'll go ahead and look into how your person is seeing themselves currently or in the past, depending on what shows up energetically. We'll also look into how they're feeling about this separation. We'll look into how they're feeling about you, as well as what it is that they hope will come of this situation. Obviously, this is a really touchy, really sensitive topic, and I'm only ever going to show you what I honestly see in the cards. I'll be as compassionate and tactful as possible. However, if you're not ready to hear things other than what it is that you want to hear, I would suggest perhaps waiting until you're in a different headspace. But let's go ahead and get on into it. I have 5 piles for you to choose from today. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and pause this video if you need to. Take as much time as you need to find the pile that sits right with your energy, as well as with your person's energy, and I will see you in a minute. Hello, pile 1. So today we are doing a reading on no contact situations, and the oracle cards that you picked are going to represent how your person is viewing themselves right now in regards to this connection. These oracle cards here are going to represent how they are feeling about this separation, and then these cards are going to represent what it is that they are hoping is going to come of this situation. And we're going to save these until the very end. So pile 1, in terms of how they are viewing themselves right now, we have the butterfly, the frog, and the hermit. So I would say that your person is viewing themselves as, well, for one, this is very solitary energy. All 3 of these cards represent solitude. And because of this, I would say that this is really being emphasized right now in your person's life in terms of how they are viewing themselves. So perhaps they were the ones who decided to sever this connection or implement no contact, or when you both were in contact, they really had a difficult time staying present and kind of meeting you halfway. But yeah, I would say with the hermit here, this is just, it's an obvious card of being alone, and the butterfly is a card of healing and of transformation, going on journeys alone, and the frog is another very cleansing card of removing toxins from your life. And so I think that this person is viewing themselves as somebody who currently is walking a path alone and is trying to do the inner healing that needs to be done. It could be because in this connection in the past, some harm was done to them, and now they are trying to focus on healing those wounds. However, the healing that they are doing does not necessarily have to be in regards to this separation. However, it's showing up very prominently here. And then, in terms of how they are feeling about this separation, we have the maze, under a spell, and healing through rest. So I would say that your person, in terms of how they are feeling about this separation, feels insanely confused right now. Unlike labyrinths, labyrinths, you're just kind of stuck there. With mazes, there are entrances and exits and dead ends. There's lots of different options to take, and it can get very confusing. And with under a spell being here as well, I get the feeling that they are confused currently about whether or not this connection was ever as it seemed. There's an element of depth here, in terms of confusion or not being able to see what the reality of this situation is. It could be that there's a lot of hopeful thinking on their end, or it could be that there is a lot of mistrust on their end. Either way, they feel as though they're in this maze and they don't know how to get out. And I don't even know if they know how they got in this in the first place. And so because of this, we have healing through rest. So I'm sensing that right now they feel so overwhelmed by this, they feel so confused by this, that the only option there is at the moment is to just take a step back, take some deep breaths, and try to realign themselves. And this, again, is mentioning healing. So if you're wondering whether or not this person currently is seeing other people, I would say pretty strongly here that they are very much so in a path of being alone right now. I don't see them seeing other people. They're very much focused on their healing. But let's go ahead and see how they are feeling about you. Oh, jeez. Okay, how is Pile 1's person feeling about Pile 1? We have the 8 of Pentacles. How are they feeling currently? We have the 5 of Swords. The 2 of Swords. Justice, the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups, Strength, the Wheel of Fortune, and on the back of the deck we have the 8 of Swords. Okay, how are they feeling about you? I would say that there is still a huge amount of care here. With the 5 of Swords coming out, this is a card of winning at all costs, and in doing such, actually losing. And it gives me very selfish energy, and I think that what this is indicating is that if this person has I feel like this person is acknowledging that they were selfish, perhaps even in the name of healing, and I think that it's really important to in life in general to just take on the perspective of everything in moderation. Of course, it's important to put yourself first, and you should always be looking out for yourself in the name of self-love. However, that does not negate the fact that we owe it to ourselves as human beings to be compassionate toward one another. And I'm sensing that perhaps in them having wanted this space for themselves, or having wanted to take this time to heal, they went about it in a way that may not have been the most compassionate or tactful, and they're sorry for this. With this 6 of Cups here, there's still a lot of love. This is one of my favorite cards in tarot. I love it when it comes out. It's so warm and innocent and genuine, and it represents apologies and coming together and reunions. And I'm sensing that there is an acknowledgement of a pretty big mistake that was made, that I don't think was really intended in harming them as well, but ended up harming them because it harmed you. Another thing that I'm seeing is that we have the Six of Pentacles here, and we also have Justice, and both of these images have scales, which signifies to me that again, they have a desire to make this right. I would say that the biggest feeling that they are feeling right now is sorry. They feel sorry. But what I think is interesting is the location of these two cards. So we have a scale right here on the bottom left, and then a scale right here on the top right, which is indicating that things are still out of balance. And what I'm feeling is that with the Wheel of Fortune clarifying this Justice card, on one end of this spectrum that this person is in emotionally, they want to say sorry, they want to make things right, they want to bring things back into balance. However, they're in this, they're also in a state of like flow, or it might not be flow, because we also have the Eight of Swords here, which is the mentality of somebody who does not want to make a choice or a move and is ready to just kind of give up, and stay wounded or stay trapped. And so I think that with this card being the bottom of the deck energy, and we have two cards here that are indicative of someone having their eyes covered. And then here even too with this Justice, this person's eyes are closed. But what I'm trying to get at is that even though they recognize that they are at fault for something here, part of them is how do I want to say it? Maybe I should start with this Eight of Pentacles. Maybe this will help. So on one end of this spectrum of wanting to make things right, they're realizing that they would have to put in effort, genuine effort. They would have to put in work. They would have to prove to you time and time again, for some of you, that how they've shown up in the past is not who they are, or at least it's not who they are anymore, and they are genuinely sorry. So there's this element of understanding that if they were to try to bring this back into balance, they would have to put in a lot of effort. But then there's this other element that they are trying to put into balance of just kind of trusting in the universe and going with the flow. And because of this desire to bring things into balance is still out of balance. One of the scales is up here, and one of the scales is down here. And then we also have the Two of Swords and Strength. It's like they can feel your warmth or your comfort, even through all of this, even through the blindfolds and the ties around the body. They still feel your warmth. They still feel drawn to you. But it's just, everything here is indicating that they have not come into alignment with what it is that perhaps their higher selves want. There's just a misalignment here still. But I would say that the biggest thing that I'm seeing has to do with them acknowledging their own downfall. But with the Two of Swords here, the Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords, that's a lot of swords, first of all, but that's mental energy. And it's the same energy as this Maze card. They're just so in their head right now. I think they're thinking too much on this. They're intellectualizing this way more than it needs to be, and until they can kind of step out of that mental headspace, they aren't going to be able to make a decision. But let's go ahead and see what it is that they are hoping will happen. So in terms of what they are hoping is going to happen in this connection, we have the Mountain and we have creativity. So, I mean, the Mountain and creativity are both very action-oriented cards. They're not stagnant by any means. And so what I'm sensing is that this person is truly hoping that they can overcome the obstacles that they have put into place themselves. And they're hoping that this creativity card is giving me the energy of problem solving. They're hoping that they can come up with a solution, find resolution in this, in a way that works for the both of you. So in terms of what it is that they're hoping for, I would say that they're hoping that this energy can turn around into something that can benefit both of you. But currently what I'm seeing energetically is somebody who is still working through that. Let's go ahead and get some more cards, just a few more. Okay. Let's see, what do we want to ask? I think I want to do these. Let's see if they have any messages for you. What does Pile 1's person want to say to them? It's time for me to heal now. Yeah, I mean, it's all over the place. We hear ya. Okay, we also have, my life is not as together as it seems. You don't know how hard it was to let you go. I do feel like for a lot of you, this person was the one who walked away from this in the name of like healing or in the name of self-love. And I think that now they really are questioning whether or not that was genuinely necessary, or if perhaps they took things to an extreme, or I don't know. There's an element of not being able to trust themselves. Or their, maybe not themselves, but their perception of things currently. And then we have, I lost myself for a little while. Yeah. Okay, and then finally, Pile 1. Let's go ahead. I wish I knew where it was. Sorry, girl. Lily likes to cuddle with me while we're doing readings. Okay, so this is your advice. Independence. I embrace total independence, and I see how empowering that is. Even when I'm in a relationship, I can still be independent by meeting my own needs and creating my own happiness. When I do that, I'm the fullest version of myself, and I have much more me to give without needing pieces of me in return. A scientifically impossible expectation. Okay. So as always, Pile 1, only allow this reading to give you insight if it sits right with you. This is obviously a general reading for 1, and for 2, I'm a stranger, and for 3, there are a million gazillion ways to interpret the cards, and it's never meant to be viewed as truth or the end all be all. And I just really want to remind to remind everybody of your own power and of your own ability to make judgments on your life. You're so worthy of all the love that you want, and then 1,000 gazillion times more. But that's where I'm going to leave this for today, Pile 1. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I will have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye! Hello, Pile 2. So today we are doing a reading on no contact or separation. And the oracle cards that you picked are going to be representative of how your person sees themselves currently energetically in this connection, or perhaps how they saw themselves in the connection in the past. It's essentially just how they are seeing themselves. And then these oracle cards right here are going to be representative of how they are currently feeling about this no contact or this separation. And then these cards here are going to represent what it is that they hope is going to come of this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and put these over here because we're going to save those until the end. And let's get into this. So in terms of how they are seeing themselves, we have the hedonist and the golden egg. And in terms of how they are feeling about this separation, we have the one who hides the sun and work. Okay. So the first thing that I'm feeling is that this person feels as though they kind of were all in on this connection. They loved you deeply, they loved you fiercely, and they were immensely vulnerable, profoundly vulnerable, and very grateful for this connection. If that's not resonating with you, there's probably not a message for you in this particular pile, and you might want to pick a different one, because with the golden egg, it's all about diving deep into your heart space and really being tender, and sharing that tenderness with others. And the hedonist's light attributes are inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life and celebrates the beauty in yourself. And I think that this person really feels as though they were showing up in these light attributes of that, of wanting to participate in joyful experiences with you and in celebrating life's beauty. And if perhaps they weren't in the past, I would say that this is how they wished that they would have shown up. But really, for the majority of you, I would say that this person cared for you deeply, and that's what they remember, is really diving deep and going all in on this one. And then in terms of how they are currently feeling about this separation, I would say that they're not doing very well. I think there could potentially be a little bit of resentment here for this separation. But I think the biggest thing that I can say, or the most prominent message that I'm getting from this, is that they're viewing this separation as something which brings about sadness, and takes away the warmth of day-to-day life. And because of this, I think for a lot of them, they really are throwing themselves into other things right now to try to keep their mind off of the sadness, or off of the hurt, or off of the thing that is missing in their life currently. There feels like there's a hole. It feels like there's a hole right now. And if they're not throwing themselves into their work, I would say that they are viewing this separation as if it were to try to come back into union, it would take a lot of work. It's very overwhelming. I would also say that they feel overwhelmed by this separation. But let's go ahead and pull some tarot and ask how they are feeling about you. How is pile 2's person feeling about pile 2? Okay. We have the Empress, the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Queen of Cups, Temperance, the Devil, Judgment, the Moon, and the Wheel of Fortune. And then on the back of the deck we have the Six of Wands. Okay, so the first thing that I'm picking up on is that we have the Empress and the Emperor here, which would represent counterpart energy. And I think that they feel the loss of this connection deeply. What's interesting though is that we have two other court cards here. We have the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, and then underneath the King of Pentacles we have the Devil. So this would indicate to me, well, there's two things that it's indicating. One, it could be indicating that there was like some sort of third party situation, and I feel as though this has to do with them feeling betrayed. I feel like they're viewing you as this Empress. And with it being clarified by Temperance, I'm sensing a need to. They feel as though you may need to try to instigate some healing or work on. Try to bring some healing to this connection on your own. But then at the same time here with the Emperor and then Judgment, it's like, it feels like this person was kind of shocked by this. Now this isn't the only scenario that I'm seeing, so don't click off just yet, because I'm also seeing this King of Pentacles and the Devil as further confirmation that this person is throwing themselves into their work currently. I would say that when it comes to how they feel about you, regardless of whether or not you betrayed them, it could even have been they betrayed you, regardless of what that is, there's this low vibrational energy that I'm picking up on with the one who hides the sun, and then this Devil here. I feel resentment. I feel like the biggest thing that I am picking up on in terms of how they currently feel about you, the biggest thing that I feel is resentment, or maybe even bitterness, but resentment is what I feel most strongly. And that's not to say that there isn't or wasn't love here. Obviously, like this person, for the golden egg to come out, it's showing us that there was a lot of love here. But for the moon to come out right over this right underneath this Queen of Cups, this is indicating that they don't know what to think anymore. They feel really confused about what the truth is, about how they're feeling. What used to feel so easy, or what used to come emotionally just in a simple way in which they felt safe, is no longer the case. I'm getting the sense that they feel a little bit powerless with this Wheel of Fortune. It feels like they're in a very fearful energy currently of like being wounded further, or of like being able to trust their own judgment at this time. And because of this, with the Six of Wands here, I feel like they've kind of retreated into an ego space, or maybe not even an ego space, but into a space in which they want to put themselves first. And that does not mean they're, focusing solely on what their ego is saying. Everything in moderation. But yeah, I would say that this person feels a profound loss for what they thought this connection was with the Empress and the Emperor. They still feel deeply and emotionally attached to you with this Devil and the Queen of Cups. However, at this moment in time, they no longer trust their heart space. They no longer trust the steps that they're taking, or trust the ground beneath them. And with the Devil here, I sense bitterness, and I sense a desire to... I feel like this person feels like you owe them an apology, or if it's flipped, that they owe you an apology. I don't know. It's very... it's sad. It just feels like a loss, and it feels kind of unnecessary. And I'm speaking from what I'm feeling from them. But let's go ahead and look at this. Oh geez. What is it that they are hoping will happen? We have the Threshold, and we have Stop. So the Threshold is a card of initiation. It's a card of transitions, and a lot of the time these transitions are something that are really scary or involuntary. The Threshold signifies changes coming to the surface in which you may not have signed up for. However, once it happens, it's kind of inevitable. And so what I feel like is that this no contact or separation is... they're viewing this currently as the threshold, as something that probably is necessary. However, they're kind of being willful right now. They don't want to accept what has happened. They're trying to pull like a curtain back over their eyes with this moon here. And yeah, so I would say based on these two cards alone, they don't want to accept that this is that this could potentially be over, but at the same time they don't want to accept that damage has been done, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead and get you guys some messages. What do you want to say to pile 2? Okay. We have, I look for you everywhere. I want to feel that way again. I know I crossed the line with you. And we have, my life is not as together as it seems. Okay, and finally, pile 2, I would like to get you guys a piece of advice from the relationships affirmation deck. Okay, we have vulnerability. I allow myself to talk about my feelings without fear of external judgment or internal drama. When I express my feelings, a couple of funny things happen. 1, I feel like a kindergartner. 2, everything gets lighter, easier, and filled with the comforting glow of honesty. Hey, no wonder kindergartners seem so fun and stress-free. All right, pile 2. Well, this is what I'm seeing for you today. If this resonated with you, I would love to know about how it did in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you'll know when I'm doing giveaways or when I'm doing promotions for my personal readings in my shop. Thank you so much for watching pile 2, and I hope that I will have the chance to read for you again in another video soon. Bye! Hello pile 3. So today we are doing a reading on no contact. And the cards that you chose are going to represent how your person sees themselves in this situation. These cards right here are going to represent how your person is feeling about this separation. And these cards right here are going to represent how your person hopes things will arrive for this situation or go. You get what I'm saying, hopefully. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at these first. In terms of how your person is seeing themselves in this situation, we have the unicorn, the deer, and the dilettante. Okay, and then in terms of how they are feeling about this separation, we have you can't find your goodness because you lost your heart, and dwellings. Okay, so in terms of how they are seeing themselves currently or in the past, however they are choosing to show up energetically currently, would be someone who is intuitive, very gentle, perhaps maternal in a way, or if not maternal, very caring. However, with the unicorn here, so that's what I'm picking up on with the deer. But with the unicorn here, there's this element that I'm picking up on in terms of like searching for something. I feel like this person is remembering themselves as somebody who wanted to go deeper but couldn't necessarily show up in that deepness themselves, in that depth themselves. The light attributes of the dilettante are delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. I'm sensing that like I almost feel like they couldn't walk the walk for the talk that they were talking. Like it feels like with this unicorn, there's an element of like healing here, of wanting to evolve, to grow on a soul level. However, it feels superficial. It feels like it was more of a facade rather than an authentic journey to themselves. Yeah, I would say take that how it resonates. There's an inauthenticity here in terms of this person's depth or how they want to be perceived. But in terms of how they are feeling about this separation, with you can't find goodness because you lost your heart, I would say that this person is pretty devastated. And with dwellings here, this could be indicative of them feeling like they have not only lost their heart, not only have they been wounded in their heart space, but if you two were living together and they had to move out or you moved out, this is indicative of this really throwing them for a loop, kind of flipping the world upside down. And if you weren't living together, I would say that either way, you have felt like home, and they've lost not only their heart, but their home. And what I mean by like losing their heart is that this is something that is so painful for them currently that they're having to set aside their heart's needs in order to get through day-to-day activities. This person is feeling pretty sad in terms of this separation. Yes, Lily? Can we help you? Come on, let's go. They don't want to see your butt. Let's go. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's go ahead and ask how they are currently feeling about you. How is pile 3's person currently feeling about pile 3? Okay, we have the 9 of Swords. The Wheel of Fortune, which has come up for every pile so far. Okay. Okay, the 6 of Pentacles, the 6 of Cups. The 5 of Cups. This person is devastated. They feel very worried, for one, that I'm sensing that they feel as though they have messed this up profoundly, and there's no going back. Okay, yeah, we have the Queen of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Swords. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Death. Okay, so how are they currently feeling about you? They are under the impression that this connection is over and it's keeping them up at night. I would say that they're ruminating right now over what went wrong, over what they could have done differently. I would say that there is a strong desire here with the 6 of Cups to come forward with some sort of apology of some kind, or if not an apology, at least an offer of peace. And with the 8 of Pentacles here and the 5 of Swords, I'm sensing that there is an element of really being willing to, for one, work on this connection if they were given the opportunity. But also with this 5 of Swords here, I think that this is genuinely them acknowledging that they messed up. They messed up big, and now nobody's winning. With the 6 of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, what I'm getting from this is that they feel like, I kind of am getting the feeling as though with this like inauthenticity that I was talking about, or this inability to kind of like go deep within themselves really had to do with an emotional heart space for a lot of you. And this is recognition with the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups that they were not meeting you on the same emotional level or playing field as you were showing up for them. It's an acknowledgement of it, and I think it's a really big regret of theirs. I think with this Wheel of Fortune and the Knight of Pentacles, there's a lot of hoping, a lot of putting trust in divine timing, in divine guidance, and they want to come forward, I would say, absolutely, but they also don't want to do it in a rushed state that's not thought through. I think that there's still learning to be done here before they can start showing up in an authentic way to themselves. But I think that regardless of what happens here, they viewed this this connection as something that has profoundly transformed them, has profoundly changed their life. And then these cards right here are going to represent what it is that they wish would happen with this connection. And we have Thanatos, which is death again, and we have fear. So I would say that how I was picking up with on the superficiality here with these two cards here, it comes from a place, I think, of fear. And for fear to show up here with this death card, I would say that what they're genuinely hoping is that they can kill their ego. They're hoping that they can kill their ego, or they can silence their fears. I just heard Silenzio Bruno. I just watched that for the first time last weekend, Luca. But yeah, like I feel like what they want is to be able to silence their fears. It's like, honestly, like with this unicorn here and this deer, it's like what they're seeing, they're viewing themselves now as this like authentic deer, as this person who is special in their own way, but for some reason they didn't feel as though it was enough. Yeah. Let me get you guys some messages. What would you like to say to pile 3? I'm starting to understand our connection. You are the best thing in my life. I am not available. Yeah, they have some fears to work through. Okay, and then we have I look for you everywhere. And then finally, pile 3, I would like to get you guys an advice card from the Relationships Affirmation deck. What advice is there for pile 3? Wait and see. Thoughts love to wander into assumptions and race ahead to the future, but what if you told them to cool their jets and chill a sec? Today, you get to put your mental chatter on pause, to take a breath and simply wait and see how things play out before you let your mind run a marathon of imagined scenarios. Wait, and you'll see that waiting and seeing was a lot more productive than wondering and worrying. Insert audible sigh of relief here. All right, pile 3. Well, this is what I'm seeing for you today. If this reading resonated, I would love to know about how it did or why in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you'll know when I'm doing reading giveaways or when I'm giving out coupons. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll get the chance to do another video for you again soon. Bye! Hello, pile 4. So today we are doing a reading on no contact. And the oracle cards that you picked are going to represent how your person is seeing themselves currently in this connection. These cards are going to represent how they are feeling about the separation. And then these cards here are going to represent what it is that they hope will happen, or what is it that they want to have happen in this connection. So, in terms of how they see themselves, we have the beaver and the gambler. And in terms of how they are feeling currently about this separation, we have dream travel and world of dreams. Okay. So your person is remembering themselves or seeing themselves currently as somebody who was a very good provider or had the potential to provide for you. My cat is being kind of a little shit right now. Girl. Hopefully she doesn't knock over the camera. But anyway, the beaver is a very practical animal that is dependable and loyal and is willing to put in work for their family, to protect their family. And I think that they're seeing themselves as somebody who is able to be loyal and true, or was willing to do that for you. And with the gambler here, I'm sensing that they also really put a lot of trust in you, or placed a lot of trust in you. And they might be viewing it now as something in which they kind of took a gamble on. But that won't resonate for all of you. But I do see that they're viewing themselves as somebody who trusted you and was loyal to you. And then in terms of how they are feeling about this connection being in separation, we have dream travel and world of dreams, which I think is fascinating that 2 cards about dreams came out. And the first thing, obviously, that comes to mind when I think about dream travel is that, in all honesty, they don't feel as much separation as perhaps other people would in this instance, because I think that they are connecting with you still in your dreams. So if you are having dreams with this person in them, I would trust that that person is probably experiencing something very similar. And with World of Dreams here, I would say that another thing that they are feeling in terms of this separation is potential. It's been such a quiet night, and then suddenly for this pile 4, it turns really kind of loud. But anyway, I would say that they view this as an opportunity of some kind, whether or not that's an opportunity for this connection to grow, or whether that's an opportunity for them to move forward. That will be up for you to decide. However, there is this energy of looking forward to something in the future. Yeah, let's go ahead and get some tarot to see how they're feeling about you. Okay, how is pile 4's person currently feeling about pile 4? Okay. We have the Queen of Wands, the Star, the 5 of Cups. The Queen of Pentacles, Justice, Death. Okay, very interesting. The Page of Swords and the 4 of Wands. Okay, and then on the back of the deck, we have the 2 of Pentacles. Okay. So what I think is really interesting. First and foremost is that, we were talking about the beaver being a provider and a creature that wants to build a home, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is the queen of earth energy, the queen of all things material, and then we have the Four of Wands, which is a card of homecoming and celebration, and I would say that this desire to provide for you, or this desire to have something stable with you in whatever way that resonates for you, is something that still is very strong for them. I would also say with this Five of Cups and the Page of Swords that obviously there is sadness here for what has been lost. However, this person is not somebody who shies away from heaviness or from uncomfortable feelings. And this person is really kind of approaching this pain or this heartbreak from a place of curiosity, from a willingness to explore those feelings. I would say with the Star and with Death, it feels like something that they really, really wanted with you was taken away from them very quickly. But with this being Death, I would say, this is, first off, these are two major arcana cards. Both of them, it's not the Star and the Ten of Wands, or the Star and the Ten of Swords. This is two major arcana cards, which is indicating to me that this is profound loss, for one. But for two, this person is recognizing that whatever it is they feel the loss of really is only being transformed. And I think that's why there's this element of curiosity here with this Five of Cups, is because this person isn't afraid of kind of going into the shadows of human emotion, or of heartbreak, and sitting with it, or of if not sitting with it, there's this powerful energy here of acceptance, and I don't mean acceptance in terms of oh yeah, whatever, it happened, I'm over it. Not like that. That's more like denial, or I don't know. It's not what I mean. It's more like I'm going to accept that this is where this connection is at right now. I'm going to accept that this doesn't feel very comfortable, but I'm going to sit with it. It's kind of like that. And then we have the Queen of Wands and Justice. I would say that this person feels kind of empowered as well, for having met you. There's this, I don't know if they're viewing you as this Queen of Wands. I don't know, I'm just picking up on empowerment. When they think of you or how they feel about you, they feel as though you're very impressive, and you deserve the world. And I think too with Justice here, they genuinely want things to come into balance for the both of you, whether that's together or separate. There's genuine love here that doesn't have a motive behind it. It's just genuinely wishing you well out of love. And with the Two of Pentacles here, this is more of this balancing energy. I don't know, this person seems very evolved. Yeah, very evolved. Let's go ahead and look at what it is that they are wanting. We have disruption and the crone. Okay, so the crone is the third archetype in the maid, the mother, and then the crone. So this is further signifying that this person is very evolved, for one. But the crone is like the master of acceptance, truly. The crone has seen it all. The crone has seen birth, rebirth, death, pain, heartbreak, and they've come out all the wiser because of this. And I sense with disruption here, all they really hope is that this, regardless of whether or not you guys come back into union or you guys just continue to live your separate lives, they want this connection to have meant something profound to them, in which they can always be grateful for, if that makes sense. It's like they want to alchemize the chaos that separation between two lovers can cause. They want to alchemize it into wisdom, is what I'm seeing. Let's go ahead and get some channeled messages. What do you want to say to pile 4? What do you want to say to pile 4? Okay. I wish things could be different. What do you want to say? My life is not as together as it seems. Oh, jeez. Okay, we'll do this. I am not available. I left before you could leave me. And I am so attracted to you. Okay, and then finally, let's go ahead and get you guys some advice cards. Oh, okay. Benefit of the doubt. I believe in the basic goodness of other people and I give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. And later on, if I need to, I can always change my mind and retroactively judge them like it's my career. Okay, pile 4. Well, this is what I am seeing for you today. If it resonated, I would love to know about how it did in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I will have the chance to read for you in another video soon. Bye! Hello, pile 5. So today we're doing a reading on no contact. So the cards that you chose are going to represent how your person is seeing themselves currently. These cards right here are going to be representative of how your person is feeling about this no contact situation, and then the cards here are going to represent what it is that they are hoping will come of this situation. So we're going to go ahead and do this at the end. Let's go ahead and get into how they see themselves currently. So they see themselves as the elk and the peacock and the poet. And in terms of how they feel about this separation, we have past lives and we have repopulation. Okay, so I would say that your person is seeing themselves right now in this connection as someone who, for one, is very stubborn, but also has the potential to be divinely in their masculine energy. The elk is a divinely masculine creature. However, there's also like an element of, I don't know if it's cockiness or if it's perhaps hiding their insecurities behind things such as, beautiful feathers, or perhaps sweet words, that I think is kind of, I don't even necessarily know if they were intending on that energy coming out, but like I feel this insecurity within them that they try to cover up with beauty, and with perhaps, what's the word, like their aesthetic, or their depth, their look. I don't know. There's like it, and I don't feel a shallowness at all. I just feel an insecurity. And then in terms of how they are feeling about this connection, with past lives here, the first thing that comes to mind is like the most obvious one, in which perhaps they are realizing that they feel a very strong connection to you, or they're starting to realize that perhaps there's more to this connection than meets the eye. But honestly, the biggest thing that I'm getting with this past lives is that they're viewing this separation as something that may have happened several times already. Like it feels like history is repeating itself. And if that doesn't resonate, I think that's okay, because I do see other, I mentioned feeling comfortable and realizing that there's deeper meaning to this. And I think that's true too. But for a lot of you, I feel like there's like an on again, off again type of pattern going on here. And with repopulation here, I would say that they're viewing this separation in the sense of, they're trying to be optimistic about it. Like, well, this has happened before, and we've gotten back together. And this could be an opportunity for us to take the rotting fruit that's been eaten up and then left in this basket, and we could take the seeds and plant something even more beautiful. So there's a level of optimism here, hoping for the best. Yeah, but let's go ahead and see how they're feeling about you. How are they feeling about pile 5? Okay. We have the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups. Whoopsies. Okay. These came out reversed, so I'm going to take them reversed. The Ten of Wands, the Five of Cups, the Knight of Swords. They feel there's so many. Okay. We have the Ace of Pentacles, and let's get one more. Okay. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords. All right. So, pile 5. How are they currently feeling about you? I would say with the Ten of Pentacles here, the first thing that comes to mind, I mean, we have the Ten of Pentacles, but we also have the Ace of Pentacles. So we have the beginning and the end of these Pentacles. And we have the Ace of Cups. Aces represent potential. And what I'm seeing is that this person, despite the fact that you two are not in contact right now, still sees you as somebody that they could build something with, that they could have a fresh start with, that they could have an emotional fresh start with, as well as like an opportunity to place roots into this that will make it more difficult to break, or more difficult to waver. And with the Ten of Pentacles here, this is just further confirmation of the potential that they see in terms of what they could build with you. And the Knight of Swords is a very fast-moving energy, and it can be a little bit chaotic, it can be a little bit impulsive, and so for this to be reversed is indicating to me that they don't want to come toward you in a chaotic or impulsive way. They want to come toward you in a very stable and sustainable way. With this Ten of Wands reversed and the Eight of Swords, I would say that there is an element of, I feel like, being a little bit tired of this cycle never coming to a close, but like also them not really knowing how to actually do their part to fix that cycle, or to correct that cycle, to redirect it. They feel exhausted by it, but they don't know what to do. And with the King of Pentacles here and the Five of Cups reversed, the Five of Cups is giving me the same energy as like this repopulation, where it's like there's a perspective shift going on, in which they're recognizing that there is all that this connection needs from their point of view is some optimism and a perspective shift to get this back to where they would like it to be. But the King of Pentacles, I think, is like how they would like to show up for you as well. I think they want to show up for you in a way that is trustworthy and loyal and providing, masculine. With the Queen of Swords here, though, I do feel like there is a little bit of like intimidation here, or a little bit of fear of you, and not in the sense of like you're an awful person. I mean, I don't know, maybe you want to be really mean to this person and they're picking up on that, but I'm sensing more of it coming from like this person's insecurities and perhaps being fearful of like how harsh your words might come across if they were to come forward. I feel like I feel like for a lot of you guys, you were the ones who cut this connection off or severed this connection in some type of way. There's like an element of coldness to this, like it's like they don't feel your warmth anymore. And it bugs them. Let's see what they would like to have happen. We have the Warrior and frustration. So, in all honesty, with the Warrior here, I feel like they want purposeful, intentional interactions and conversations with you, rather than perhaps conversations or interactions that randomly escalate or escalate without purpose. I feel like this person wants to fight for this connection, and is hoping that this frustration or this separation is going to lead to the realization on both of your ends that it might be best to try to work on this. But they don't want to give up. The Warrior is not a person who gives up. The warrior is a person who goes into battle. Yeah, so this, I would say this person doesn't have the intention of simply letting this go without a fight. Let's go ahead and get some channeled messages real quick. What would pile 5's person like to say? I wish things could be different. I'm so attracted to you. I know I messed up everything. I am becoming a better person. Okay, and finally, pile 5, let's get you some advice. Open-heartedness. I know that life and the people living it can be an absolute bummer sometimes, but I promise not to let unhappy chapters make me jaded. If I let negative experiences turn me sour, then the jerks win, so I'll move on with an open and hopeful heart, if only because I hate losing to jerks. Alright, pile 5, well, this is where I am going to leave you for today. If this resonated, I would love to hear about how it did in the comments section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and hopefully I will see you in another video soon. Bye!